Come on, you're late for class. You're late for class. So good morning, it is Monday morning, start of another week in isolation, and about to teach the kids all about percentages. Just having some breakfast, then we'll crack on with that. The market has presented two new opportunities this morning, which I'll showcase shortly. But for the moment, my job is a school teacher. So where did the day go? It is 8 o'clock on Monday evening, first day of the week. I am just starting the streaming on my chart package, which has gone off because the computer shut down. Then I'm going to pull up those two trades I talked about showing earlier. These are two new trades. One in Euro US dollar Braveheart strategy long, and one in US dollar Japanese yen Braveheart strategy short. So what you'll notice about that is they both offer on the US dollar. So yeah, let's have a quick look and see how they're panning out. So first up, euro. I bought this morning off that, well, the green candle was the one that closed above the 200 simple moving average on the daily. It was tracing down. It wasn't trading below the 200 at the time. I bought off that. It was a better position than a potential entry on the close of that candle. And yeah, price is kind of deciding what it's going to do. There's a couple of hours until the close. If we do close below the 200 simple moving average, that may tell me something. There'll be a partial exit to execute. But if not, we close above, then there's a good opportunity and plenty of mileage to get up to this top, that previous structure level up higher. Japanese yen, opposite direction, closed below the 200 simple moving average, shorted off that, under a little bit of pressure, but holding that 200. And again, if we start to trade down, we've got quite a long way to go. We've got a resistance, Sig 1 level resistance there, but still an opportunity to get just under a 2-to-1 into that level. For completeness on the Swissy, I'd added to this position at the end of last week, under a little bit of pressure today. Could be just a retracement with more downward pressure tomorrow. I still think this pair's got a good chance to get down to that level. So quite a highly leveraged position. This trade is fully protected now, so cannot lose. So I'm just going to hold it and see how far we can get. I've rolled that stop in. I did that this morning. So yeah, fully protected position. That stop above yesterday's high. On the Aussie, I had suspected Aussie to be bid today. There was news yesterday, not that I trade the news, as I always say, but there was news yesterday that, oh, there's my wife printing off, that's the noise, my wife printing off the kids' schooling for tomorrow. There was news over the weekend that Australia had a subsidence in coronavirus cases, which I thought might send Aussie to bids. We've just sidetracked all day, but I've rolled a stop underneath that XY candle tight, so reduce my risk on this trade. I did that principally because I entered two new US dollar trades, Euro US dollar and US Japanese yen. So wanted to reduce the risk on the Aussie, but it looks like we may get more further upward pressure into this 200 simple moving average. Well, good morning. It is Wednesday morning. Didn't do any recording yesterday, principally because nothing much is happening. Well, having said that, I got stopped out of two positions yesterday. There looked to be a spike in the dollar, bids into the dollar. I couldn't quite work out what was going on. My FOREX Factory website feed has seemed to collapse. I can't seem to get on that. Haven't been able to get on that for the last 24 hours. So not quite sure what happened, but there did seem to be a bid and a short-term gap in the dollar, which stopped me out of my US dollar Swiss franc short, and also stopped me out of, what was the other trade? My Euro US dollar long. So bids into the dollar cost me. My Euro, that was a full 2% loss. My Swissy was a small gain because I'd rolled my stop to protect my position. And this morning I've entered a new short in Swissy and I'm seeing where that takes me. Another signal showed up, full house signal, and I'll throw that up on the screen in a second. Still long in my Aussie trade, still short in my Japanese yen trade. So a few things going off. My CAD Japanese yen long is still in position on the SIG1. So it is very quiet. It is a very, very strange market with COVID-19 dominating the world. Yeah, just got to sit tight, trade the signals when they show up, and stick to the rules. I didn't stick to one of my rules on my euro trade. There was a signal that I should have exited 50% of my position. I ignored that rule, and that cost me. So note to myself that actually the rules are there not to be broken. The rules are there to be adhered to. And while I think I might know better in the moment in the market, I've set those rules away from the emotion of the market for a very, very good reason indeed. So let me throw those trades up now, and I'll show you what's going on. If you can hear noise in the background, it's my wife and my kids doing the Joe Wicks workout on the YouTube stream, I think it is. So by the time I got round to jumping into the charts, it's a little bit later than expected, but never mind. It just shows how things have progressed. This is Japanese yen. This is on the daily chart. This is Braveheart strategy. So we're looking at getting a break down now of this pair. Bids into yen. Decent amount of distance to fall. Yeah, looking good on this one. Ouch. Swiss franc stopped out. Didn't lose money, made a little bit of money, but yeah, stopped out. Looks to be breaking above the daily downward trend line, so I'm glad to be out of that. Yeah, this pair I always find quite a difficult pair to trade. So, you know, in and out is my strategy. I added once. If I hadn't have added, then I'd have made more of a profit. But, you know, that's the name of the game. If this thing had gone all the way down to here, I'd have made some serious money. But glad to be out, and glad to be out with a small profit. And finally, Aussie. See up there, Aussie. Yeah, this trade wasn't really going anywhere, and I decided to tighten my stop this morning. I had a suspicion that this pair may begin to break down. I made a slight loss on this trade, but not a full 2%, nowhere near. This downward pressure from the 200 simple moving average, the fact that we got this sideways action, the fact that this current candle, although it looks to be an XY candle when it closes, potentially, if you look at that long wick at the top, that's telling me one thing and one thing only, that is the sellers are probably in control, certainly during that session, or potentially a stalemate depending on where that closes. So again, out of this particular trade. Well, good morning. It is Thursday morning, day 199. Wow, 199, nearly 200 mark, and 200 mark tomorrow is coincides with non-farm payrolls in the US. Just looking at some news out this morning, prediction is that that's going to fall short of where it should be, which I think the market is probably priced in, given the coronavirus. Coronavirus, how do you describe it? Unprecedented situation we find ourselves in. Anyway, in terms of the markets, a lot of sideways action, not a lot of clear direction, which is making it very, very hard to trade. I have a few positions still on, pretty much the same as yesterday. No new positions this morning. So I'm just monitoring those to see where we end up. But for the moment, it's kind of locked down in the home, and also locked down in the markets with nothing presenting itself. But I've got a few things to monitor throughout the day on the 4-hour close to see if an opportunity does present itself. But if not, I'll be sitting tight. Well, you could say I'm going a bit crazy today. Good to get out of the house and into the garden. I'm going to train my youngest now on his daily boxing class and put him through his paces. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Good boy. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Good boy. Hands by your chin. Yeah, that's it. Hands by your chin. Good boy. Bit faster. Bit faster. That's it. Good boy. Punch out hard. Yeah, good. Punch out hard. Yeah, good. Very good. Very good. Hands up by the chin. Hands up by your chin. Got to have your hands by your chin. Whoa, bend your knees. There we go, you got the gloves on now, your hands are going to be heavier. Keep your hands by your chin, just go slowly, slowly, slowly. Well, good morning, it is Friday and it is day 200 of the challenge. Wow, 200 days I've been doing this trading thing diligently and disciplined, with only a few kind of breaks along the way. And a few stumbles across the way, along the way rather. So we're now into a new month as well, of course, April. I need to wind up March, do my SIG 1 levels, which I'll do at the weekend, new SIG 1 levels, highs, 10-year highs and lows, 5-year highs and lows, 3 years high, 3-year, hard to say that, 3-year highs and lows, if that's right. So I need to do that at the weekend. Yeah, in terms of the trading activity this week, it has not been the best week. What I'm finding is that there's quite a lot of whipsaw action in the market, which is probably okay if you're on very, very high timescales or trading charts. I'm on the weekly, daily. Weekly's not too bad, but the daily and the 240. I've been stopped out of a number of positions, and that's just the name of the game. I have risk parameters on all of my trades, and I've got to stick with those risk parameters, even if it's uncomfortable. I broke one of my rules earlier this week by not exiting a trade sooner, or lightening up on a trade sooner. So I've just got to be a bit careful with that and to monitor that. In this kind of scenario, there is a danger that you start to over leverage. You start to play a riskier game, when in actual fact, just follow the rules, follow the plan. So I'm going to jump into the charts, do a quick overview as to what's happened. And then for the first time properly, I mean, I've walked out of the house for 10 minutes, but we are on lockdown. But for the first time, I'm going to take a drive up to the house we're having built, just to see what's happening up there. And I expect that I'm not going to get caught in too much traffic. And that the roads are going to be very, very quiet indeed. First up then, Euro entered a short this morning on a full house strategy. That short is now in profit and heading down the daily range towards the middle of the range, where I'm going to take off half of the position. Japanese yen, this was a Braveheart strategy, sold on the close below the 200 simple moving average. I tightened my stop up on that in line with the rules, 20 pips above the high, and was stopped out. So it looks like we're testing that 200 simple moving average again. Only a very, very small loss here. If we get a test and a rejection of that 200 simple moving average, and there is a signal candle associated with that, then I can short again, which I probably will. But it's non-farm payrolls today, US dollar in the news, so probably best to be out of this trade anyway. Swissy, very frustrating pair to trade. This downward trend now looks to have been broken. We are getting close to bullish territory now. Well, this is the 240 chart, although this is the 240 chart and not the daily, where I established the direction of the trend. So yeah, stopped out of this. I had a trade on earlier this week, which was just looking, yeah, so basically I've had 2 short trades on this week. The first one was about a break-even trade. This one was a 2% loss trade. So just standing on the sidelines now where this pair is concerned. And finally, Euro Swiss franc. This pair has a IG sentiment in focus to the short side, so that's S star. That basically means that over 70% of retail traders are long, which means I get short. So this trade looks to be, well, if we can get under this level here, looks to be heading in the right direction. I think this is more about euro weakness, which is also showing up on my euro US dollar short, than it is about Swiss franc strength. But if this trade hits target, if my euro US dollar trade hits target, then I can salvage at least some of what's been a pretty poor week on the last day of the week. But hey, time will tell. There's still a long way to go. also popped up to the house earlier on, and things look to be taking shape, which is good news. Yes, non-farm payrolls result is out, and I was looking over my camera. US payrolls dropped 701,000 in March, the first jobs decline since 2010. And yeah, as a result of that, you would probably normally expect the dollar to weaken as a result. In actual fact, there has been very, very little response. In my euro US dollar trades, price is pretty much static. And I'll just jump in a second into US dollar Japanese yen, which is usually the key determinant of what is going on with the dollar, and see what's happened there. So here we go. US dollar Japanese yen, similar story. In fact, no response at all. So it looks to me that that jobs number was pretty much priced in, and as a result, hold on to the trades, keep trading the signals, and I'll stick with my euro US dollar short. Well, good morning. It is Sunday morning after, well, in the midst of a weekend of lockdown. Just brought the kids out very briefly to do some biking to try and get rid of some of their energy. Yeah, it's been a very difficult few days. Dad's gone into hospital, not with coronavirus, but with a heart condition. So it's all very stressful, very, very difficult times this country is facing currently. In terms of the markets, I have got some work to do later, quite a bit of work, it being the end of the month. Here's Maxi, there we go. It being the end of the month, to plot the new SIG 1 levels, and also the trade management stuff in relation to where price action now sits in relation to the monthly simple moving averages. So quite a bit to do today, but with not a lot else to do, then that's okay. And then I'll be getting ready for the market open at 10 o'clock tonight, but won't be initiating any trades until first thing tomorrow. But in the meantime, just enjoying our one bit of outside time today. And yeah, sent my wife to the shop to do some shopping. That will be chaos, and then we'll be back to the house for the remainder of the lockdown. Go on, Maxi, get cycling. Here he is. He's here, hurry up, go on. Let's see you. Go, 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 go. Here they come. Arguing, as usual. Come on, stop arguing. Let's move. Where's Charlie then? Charlie's in the tree somewhere. Go on then, kick it, Maxie. Kick it. Tackle you, you loser. Go on then. Oh! Yes? Hi.
You're so high!
He's up there somewhere. There he is in the middle.
Look, all of around the wall.
Okay, be careful. Go on then. Be careful. Careful. Don't get it. Don't get it. Don't get it.
No. Go.
Go on then. Let's do it. Come on. Well, it is around about 7:15. Crikey, 7:15 on Sunday evening. I have just been through and downloaded and amended the SIG 1 levels. Need to put those on the chart. Going to do that tomorrow. Ran out of time today. Still in lockdown. Going to catch the news and see what's what. Check the weekly chart. Done the weekly relative strength. It was all about the dollar last week, US dollar last week. But we'll see what happens this week. No additional SIG 1 levels showing up. My CAD Japanese yen long is still in play. So it'll be up early tomorrow to tackle the markets once again.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.